Alright, my name's Sam. I'm going to show you how to change a car tire. So what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate on this tire right here. That's not flat, but I just want to do it for a demonstration purpose. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put your handbrake up. If you can put an object in front of the front tire, that would be ideal. But right now, just put the handbrake up and open the trunk. What you want to do first is you want to gather your tools. So in the trunk, what you'll have the spare tire, and in some cars you'll have a tire repair kit, and you'll also have the jack. Depending on the type of vehicle, they'll be positioned differently. But in this one, you have everything in the center, so take it off here. First, take off the tire. So we'll do that. And what you want to do is you want to lay the tire flat wherever you're changing it. So we're going to do it right here. Right, and then we'll go back and grab the tools. So over here you have the jack and the actual so we take out the screw. This is what kept it secured to the bottom of to below the spare tire. And here's the pallet jack and the lug wrench. This is what you're going to use to jack the car up and also loosen the lug nuts on the tire. So in this case, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to lower the actual pallet jack in order to get the lug wrench out. So go, because it's tight on. Oh, we were doing it the wrong way. So, there we go. What you want to do is you actually want to find a point under the vehicle where you can jack it up. Now, because this is way too high up, you're going to want to lower it. So we'll do that first. So most importantly, underneath the vehicle, you're going to find a point where you can actually jack the car up. You got to be careful not to put it on the body, otherwise the car could possibly flip over on this, or it wouldn't jack up properly, or you could cause a lot of damage. So on the bottom of the vehicle, you can see right here, it's a point where you can jack the car up. And normally it's going to be the same paint as the car. So here it is right there. That would go in that spot. And if you also follow the instructions, it'll tell you what mounting points you could use. So we'll start off by putting the jack itself under it, like so. And then we'll jack it up. So what you want to do is you want to perfectly align it with the mounting point and pull it all the way up. But don't start jacking the car just yet. You can use your hand. So just make sure it's perfectly aligned. There you go. And now it's tight. So what you want to do next is you want to loosen the lug nuts on the vehicle. So start by moving that. This tool right here will be used to loosen the lug nuts. So stretch it out. There we go. And we'll go into the car itself. So each one, turn it left, lefty-loosey, just once. The reason why you want to do this first is because you don't want to shake the car while it's jacked up. If you do that, you can actually tip the car, and it depends on the surface as well. You're better off just loosening the lug nuts first. So there we go. So what you want to do now is you want to use the same tool that you loosen the lug nuts with to actually jack up the vehicle. First, before you start jacking up, make sure it's at the perfect point underneath the car, right there, and then start jacking it up. Because of its awkward positioning, it's going to be a little tough at first. I was going the wrong way. So the first bit is going to be a little awkward. You're going to have to do it a little funny. Alright. So with the same tool you use to loosen the lug nuts on the tire, you're going to jack up the car. So what you want to do is you want to put it here, confirm that it's in the right position, and start jacking it up. You do this by turning right. So the first couple times it's going to be a little awkward just because of how low the car is to the ground. But as you can tell, the car is actually coming off the ground. You're going to want at least 2 to 3 inches of clearance off the ground before you start changing the tire. So you can hear the tire itself coming off. stop. So what you want to do now, same tool, start loosening up the lug nuts. Now in newer cars this would be very easy. If you have an older car where the lug nuts are rusted on, you may require a metal bar to actually assist. Go. Just make sure it's tight on. This one isn't done right. There we go. So now we're approaching the last lug nut. There we go. And you got to be careful in the position because the tire could fall sideways. So once you're done, you can use your hand. Actually, take the lug nuts off. Now most importantly, you want to keep them somewhere safe, so keep them together. There we go. And keep your hand on the tire. That way the tire doesn't fall on you. This one may need to be unscrewed a little more. There we go. And then you want to pull the tire. So take a hand on each side, pull it right off. And you want to set it somewhere safe. You don't want to have it in the way of traffic or anything. So what most people do is they either put it back in their trunk because it's flat. So we'll do that in this case. We'll just place it in the trunk. Leave it there, and then we'll get ready to put the spare tire on. What you want to do first is make sure that this is facing in. So you want to align the actual spokes here. So just a little bit. There we go. And you want to put your lug nuts on. So you can do the first part by hand, just to get them on. If that doesn't work, just push in and then use this to tighten them up. So if I turn them right, there you go. Turn it right again. There you go. There you go. So what you want to do now is just make sure each and every lug nut's tight. It's good. Try it again. If you're uncertain, always try it again. You don't want to be you don't want to drive around with loose lug nuts. It could be dangerous. There you go. Now you just go to the point where if you can't turn anymore, it should be good enough. There we go. Now the step right after is to actually lower the car. Very easy step. Go left instead of right. You could try doing it like this. Whichever way. It's a little awkward though because of how low you are to the ground. So in the final stages, it's going to be a little easier to lower the jack on the car. Still need to go a little more. Just make sure it's low enough to actually pull out from underneath the bumper. So there you go. Pull that out. And now your car is secure to the ground. Make sure the tire pressure, most times, especially on newer cars, you should be okay. Now one thing to note on a spare tire is that they're limited to 55 miles an hour in most cases. So if you do end up going on the freeway or the highway, make sure to limit your speed and you should be good to go. So one thing to make sure at the end make sure that you put all your tools away and make sure to get the tire changed as soon as possible. This is a temporary tire. It's not meant to be used full time. So the soonest opportunity you get, always remember to change it. Thank you for watching. I hope you learn how to change a tire.